Whole sports all plays. Yeah. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. Whole sports all plays.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to ASAP in the morning, June 23rd on this beautiful morning. I'm joined by Jonathan from the West Coast. John Boy, how you feeling today?
What's up, man? I'm feeling great this morning. It's early here on the West Coast, but I'm an early bird, so I'm feeling good this morning. How about you?
I'm good. I'm still a little tired. I went to bed at 2 in the morning, only to be woken up at 4 in the morning by my daughter banging on her door. I open the door, she looks at me, she goes, "Hi, Daddy," and then just proceeds to climb in our bed. Had like 2 more hours till we had to wake up to get them ready, so I was like, fine, whatever. So we get in bed. Jonathan, you probably have felt this before. Has your daughter ever just, while you're in bed with your wife, has your daughter ever slept just smack in the middle of the bed?
Yes.
And then just sprawled out to take up as much room as possible?
Yes, all the time.
That's what my daughter decided to do. Couldn't sleep, so I just sat here on my computer, just staring at my daughter. Like, the instant you move a little bit, I'm jumping on that bed. And I was waiting, and I'm convinced, to spite me, she refused to move in her sleep. I'm convinced, but outside of that, I'm good. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a huge episode in store for y'all. Portland is still trying to make moves. So now the question is, what are they going to do with their draft pick? Are they going to draft someone or trade it? We'll talk about that. Phoenix Suns are trying to do a signing trade for DeAndre Ayton. I guess they want to go back to irrelevance. I'll tell you why in a few. We'll break down some of the NBA rookies and who's going to get a max contract and who won't. And if Deshaun Watson gets suspended for a year, what should old Baker Mayfield do? But before we get into any of that, yesterday, finally, Roger Goodell was grilled by Congress. And the entire situation with the Washington Commanders, he ended up testifying Wednesday at a hearing. It was a hearing that was held by the House Committee on Oversight and Reform. And it was over 2 hours. It was a long one. And they were grilling him. Now, here's the part that a lot of people have some trouble with. They're basically asking they asked him, are you willing to do more to punish Snyder? He kind of dodged the question a little bit and basically made it seem like it was above him. So they decided to one-up himself. And Rashida Tlaib, I want to make sure I'm saying that right, but she's a Democrat from Michigan. She asked, "Will you remove him?" referring to Dan Snyder. And this is what Roger Goodell said, quote, "I don't have the authority to remove him, Congresswoman." Now, on a technicality, he can say that. However, the problem that people are having is that he's not pushing for a vote. Because if 3/4 of the owners vote, then they have no problem getting him out. So now a lot of people are, starting to ask, is Roger Goodell taking this seriously? I'm going to ask you, Jonathan, after that entire thing, and by the way, Snyder was invited to be there. They did invite him. He did not show up. He declined, citing overseas business commitments. And then this is the part that had me laughing. Concerns about due process. I believe a few of them made it known they're going to try to subpoena Snyder to make him actually testify. And that was led by Carolyn Maloney, a Democrat from New York, who said We're gonna make him testify whether he likes it or not. But do you think Roger Goodell is taking this entire thing too lightly?
Absolutely he is. Look, this is Roger Goodell. So, I mean, we should know based on history how this guy responds to situations like this. He's very incompetent. He doesn't take these issues seriously, and that's been a problem for the NFL for a very long time, right? When you shed light on these issues, he makes these comments that sounds not only misleading, but that sounds like, well, you know what? I'm not going to take any action. And that's what Roger Goodell does so often. He's not a very good commissioner. I said this before that he's not fit to be the NFL commissioner. And Dan Snyder, a lot of people feel like he should not be the owner of the Washington Commanders moving forward. And they have their reasons because there's been misconduct. There's been workplace misconduct in that organization. So Dan Snyder, is not a very likable owner. He's not a very popular figure around the league. And, that's bad for culture. That's bad for football. And that gives the NFL a bad look as well. Dan Snyder, to me, has been very defiant. He lacks empathy. And, he doesn't care about women who are employed by his team. That's been the ongoing issue here. But yeah, to answer your question, I think Roger Goodell is taking this too lightly, and he's gonna be this way. Look, how did he handle Ray Rice's domestic violence incident that we all saw on video with our own two eyes? It was cut and dry. It was right there in front of us. And, this guy took, several days to finally take some action, only because he was receiving backlash from the media and from fans. And he decided that he was going to finally, own some responsibility and take action. Then you see what happened with several other incidents around the league. So I'm not surprised at all by Roger Goodell's action. This is a guy who mishandles everything that happens in the National Football League.
Yeah, for me, it's almost and maybe it's just me, and it could be, but I just feel like as of right now, the entire situation with the Washington Commanders, that is something that's kind of been, the league would hope that one day people forget about it. That's it. That's kind of their goal, right? It's not really to resolve it, just have people move on from it. The problem with that, though, the reason why the league felt like they could was because the whole Deshaun Watson thing came up. And then when that came up, it was like, okay, now we can kind of focus more on that. So for me, man, look, I don't think the NFL, if we're gonna be honest, cares about this. I don't think that the NFL wants this resolved. I don't think that in their opinion, it doesn't matter what happens with this entire Washington Commanders situation. It doesn't. I feel like to the NFL, it either it happened or it did. It doesn't matter. And I think there's two reasons for that. First and foremost, I just think the NFL kind of wants to I think they're starting to understand we're messing up. And and this is just me, instead of trying to learn from it, it's almost as if they're like, nope, it is what it is. We're not it's in the past, it didn't happen. So it's like they're not trying to learn from their mistakes. And I think the second and the most important thing, which is what a lot of people are pointing out, there are 3 owners in the NFL that Roger Goodell is way too close with. That's Robert Kraft, Jerry Jones, and Dan Snyder. Those are the 3 guys that he's extremely close with, that he's a buddy with. They go and play golf, and they do all this stuff that he doesn't do with other owners.
Right. So it's a bit of a conflict of interest.
Exactly.
And those guys have a personal relationship. So, of course, he's going to do whatever he takes. He's going to do whatever it takes to defend him. You know, he's going to go to war for him, basically. And, you know, another thing that I found interesting from yesterday was the fact that Goodell reiterated that Snyder is not involved in the day-to-day operations, that he hasn't even been to the facility. Now, how do we know that? Do we have evidence and facts to back that up? You know, that I mean, it's all a cover-up, just like the NFL has covered up things in the past. I mean, we're seeing the same thing again. It's the same results over and over again. Yep. You know,
and
it's
again,
the definition of insanity.
It is, and the
over and over and expecting different results.
And what really is a concern, by the way, Amon, what's up, my guy? The concern about what Roger Goodell's saying that's now to say that. I'm surprised that they didn't ask him for proof of that, because the only way they could prove is, guess what? Okay, now from 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, we're gonna start subpoenaing certain people to get them to come up, so that way, what up, Rob, my boy? But that way they can kind of start going back and going, okay, if you're gonna say he wasn't, we're gonna. I'm so ugly, I made Rob leave. That's tough, but they're gonna start subpoenaing these people from the past and go, okay, so he was involved in 2016, stopped in 2017, came back 2018, like. That's honestly my concern, where I believe the concern I have with this is Congress is going to try so hard to try to get this right, or at least, and I don't mean to try to make this political, but the Democratic side wants to get it situated. The Republican side is more along the lines of, don't you guys think we have better things to do? So they're kind of butting heads, but it's going to get to a point where it's going to get a little too convoluted, right? Like, if he's not doing a day-to-day operations now, that doesn't matter, because these are accusations from years ago.
Right. But what does this tell us about Roger Goodell, though? What does this tell us about him as far as women? You know, because, you know, a lot of women have been victimized by sexual harassment in workplaces, and these are serious allegations, you know, of sexual harassment in the workplace. So, I mean, this is not a good look for the league, especially a league that attracts a lot of women. A lot of women watch the National Football League, and this could be a turnoff because of who represents this league, and because he doesn't take these type of allegations seriously enough. You know, this could turn away a lot of female audience and fans that have been watching football for many, many years.
And to your point, the NFL wants to increase their demographic. You know, more specifically, they are trying to cater to women, right? Like, they are trying to, try to get into that demographic.
Mm-hmm.
So it is crazy how you're trying to get into that demographic. And my thing is, I'm not saying that if a woman accuses something that you automatically got to believe it, but at the bare minimum, do your due diligence. That's honestly all people are really asking for. Do your due diligence. Don't brush it under the rug. Don't put it off and keep putting it off and keep putting it off, and then all of a sudden be shocked that you're getting some backlash.
Right.
Like, once the accusation comes up and you're made aware, okay, get in your side, let's get that evidence, and now we can do something instead of just kind of we're waiting. Like
NFL wants them to forget, but a victim will never forget that they've been sexually harassed.
Nope. Rob, stop leaving, man. I know I'm ugly.
No, man. I don't
Stop
know if my
leaving.
computer going through an update or what, but it just kicked me out of everything. I said, "Oh Lord, Jesus."
Rob is like, I done broke. Rob's like, I done broke.
I almost quit, but I said, you know what? Let me just try a different browser. So I went from on Chrome to the new Microsoft Edge thing. And I don't know, man. Computers are only smart when they work.
You're right.
That's right.
So, Rob, let me ask you this before we move on. So, obviously, Roger Goodell, he spoke to Congress, right?
Mm-hmm.
They kind of had the 2-hour testimony thing. In that testimony, people basically feel like he's not taking the entire Washington Commanders thing serious at all. Do you have that same thought process? You think he's not taking it serious? You think he's doing the bare minimum? You think he's doing his best? How do you believe Roger Goodell is handling this entire thing with the former Washington football team?
Now, remind me, what you talking about? The Commanders, right?
Yes.
And what happened again?
So,
refresh my memory.
So I started eating candy. There was like the culture in the workplace, a toxic environment, and there's accusations of women employees making about sexual harassment against higher ups.
That's likely that's happening. It happens in most workplaces.
I read some of the stuff because like there's some stuff that's out there. I read some of the stuff.
It's bad.
Yeah, it's pretty.
They were treating it like, I'm not even trying to be rude, but they treating them like the executives were pimps and the girls were just like
escorts and stuff.
That's how they were treating them.
They said, you gotta
like that's how they were, and it was
gotta be ready for the job you want.
I was like
it's bad, but
it was.
But you know what though?
If it's true, man, some of the stuff that like was like that's alleged.
Yeah.
If it's true, whoa!
That should not had happened, and that's why Daniel Snyder is under so much fire, right? Because he enabled this kind of behavior.
He enabled it, and then every time they ask him to make comments on it, he goes to China.
Oh yeah, I mean
that's what he did.
We learned on Dark Knight that the Chinese won't extradite their own. No, I'm just playing.
I can't shame you. But you think Roger Goodell's taking this whole situation seriously?
No, I don't think so. I think Roger Goodell right now is under hot water. Period. Yeah. It's been a lot of sexual allegations, whether it's Deshaun Watson, whether it's what's going on with the Commanders, whether it's just a lot of things going on in the NFL under Roger Goodell's eye, and it seems like he doesn't have a handle on it. And his only response is, I don't have power to remove him as the owner. Like,
Yep.
Thank you for refreshing my memory because I was actually reading over that this morning. So I'm like, so what do you do then? Why are you in the position that you're in? Because apparently you have no power to do anything.
Apparently so.
That's a lot, though, because look what Adam Silver did when he first came into the league, and look at the challenges he had to meet as a new commissioner, having to force Donald Sterling.
Yeah, the whole Sterling situation. Yeah.
And as soon as and you want to know why people respected Adam Silver for that?
Because he moved swiftly.
As soon as it happened, he immediately was like, okay, what do we got? Where's the evidence? Let's review it. Okay, he did it. What's the course of action? This is what I want to do. Boom, boom. We're all on one united front. Get him out. Let's make the vote. Here's the vote. This all happened. So
that's why
this is not like Adam Silver went in there and kicked him out.
No,
but he made things happen. He said, "Okay, let's round up all the owners. Let's take a vote. Is this the type of reputation? This the type of name that we want to put out there about our product? Because it deals with all of your money too.
Yep.
Not to mention Adam Silver is an attorney. So I'm pretty sure that he can talk that talk with people to make them understand.
Yeah.
It's a lose-lose situation if we keep this man in power, because what message do you now send to the players that you pay, and what message do we send to the global NBA community?
And that's really honestly my whole thing. Like, I'm not saying Roger Goodell needs to go and every time there's an accusation, you need to like fire everyone. But you need to do what Adam Silver did. Hold on. This is going on. Okay. Get the evidence. Not only am I reviewing it, and not only am I going to have the league review it, I'm going to get an independent third party review it as well. So nobody can say nothing to me.
Nobody who knows anybody is completely
matter of fact,
down the middle.
Matter of fact, I'm going to cricket's #1 fan who's never heard of basketball, and we're going to lay out all the stuff. We're going to lay out all of it. You let me know. I'm going to actually have my thoughts on it. The league, we're going to have our own thing. We're going to go. We're going to look at it and go, okay, boom. We're now going to present this to the owners. And then exactly what you said. Yo, look, this is what we got. If it was up to me, this is what I would do. But the vote is really up to you guys. He handled it every step of the way when it came to that entire Donald Sterling situation. Me personally, now granted, it really was the first task for Adam Silver.
Yeah.
So going in, I was a little skeptical because I don't know how you're gonna react, like I don't know how you're gonna be. But as soon as he took the reins, I felt like no matter what the outcome, I know for a fact Adam Silver did everything. Like, he did everything possible.
Well, he paid much attention to David Stern because, like David Stern or not, David Stern didn't take no mess from nobody.
No,
and that's the reputation that most people who've ever talked about David Stern say, like, hey, you might not like him, but he's fair. Mm-hmm. And my thing with Roger Goodell is he's always been kind of like the laughing stock commissioner. Nobody takes Roger seriously. I mean, if you look at not only what's happening with the Commanders, not only what's happened in Miami with the whole Flores situation, let's talk about Deshaun Watson for a second, because it's ironic that all of this stuff happened when he says he wants to leave the Texans. And then all these accusations come out. So that means Houston had some knowledge of what was going on, which therefore means Goodell had some knowledge of what was going on. So he has been running a bad ship for a mighty long time.
And the thing is according like, I don't know whether or not, according to some of the women who's making the allegations, they said that not only did because there's some of them that wasn't involved with Houston. Not only did the ones that weren't involved with Houston tell Houston, but supposedly they were also trying to contact the league, and they sent letters to the league.
You know what Roger Goodell's problem is too. He allows the owners to dictate the rules and make the decisions.
Yeah, because we were talking about this earlier. There are 3 guys that Roger Goodell, the 3 owners that he's too buddy with. That's Robert Kraft, Jerry Jones, and Daniel Quinn. And I said this before. Roger Goodell could literally see this. He could sit there and he could watch Robert Kraft kill somebody. Mike
wasn't ready for that, but
he could see Robert Kraft kill somebody. He'll watch Jerry Jones pull a Deshaun Watson, and then he'll watch Dan Snyder beat up his wife. And then Roger Goodell, because those 3 are his best friend, instead of doing anything, he'll be like, I didn't see it. And he'll try to help them brush it under the rug. Like Jonathan said it earlier, it's a conflict of interest. This is what I think is the biggest reason why Roger Goodell's not taking the situation seriously. Because if he does, in his mind, you mess it over your friend. And I've always felt like if you can't separate it, if you
friends and business don't mix. I'm sorry.
So
look, in my situation, if I could speak personally,
go ahead.
My boss is my mentor. Like we have a personal relationship. But best believe if I mess up on something, he ain't coming at me on from a mentor standpoint because that's his money. He's the CEO of this company. So, hey, Rob, I love you. I look at you like a son, but that shit is out the window right now. You costing me paper.
Again, it's like Adam Silver.
Real. That's
He'll
real.
come up
He
to you
has
and treat you. Yeah, he'll come up to you and he'll treat you and he'll talk to you. But if you mess up, he'll check you.
And you got to check people. Yes, sir.
Roger Goodell can't do that with his friends. He can't do that with his friends.
And that's the reason he's the laughing stock of commissioners.
Right.
He's probably worse than Manfred.
Way worse. Way worse.
I don't know about that one. I would have to put Manfred on the top of that list.
I'm trying to
at the bare minimum, and the only reason this is the only reason why I put Roger Goodell worse than Rob Manfred. The only reason is because at the bare minimum, if you do something dumb, Rob Manfred is on it.
Yeah,
at the bare minimum,
like
he's on it.
Azuna did some sus stuff,
and he was on it.
That is true. That's true.
That's the only reason why. And I understand Rob Manfred is when it comes to the game, I'm convinced he hates it.
Dude, you can't even bet on a game, bro.
No,
you can't even bet on a game.
And it's the rule changes,
right? And that's the thing. Like at the bare minimum, you can say Rob Manfred. He at least, if you do something stupid, he's on you like quick, fast, and in a hurry. And at least now he's trying to help make some rule changes. At least.
Roger Goodell, you gotta get that. You gotta garnish. You gotta earn that respect.
Right.
And I don't think Roger has earned that respect in the NFL community. No, but why I say that? Because they consistently do stupid stuff. It's a lot of stupid stuff that gets done in the NFL. And they're like, all he gonna do is smack me on the wrist and I'm good.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yep. Because he condones that behavior, and if that continues, these players are gonna feel they can do whatever they want, and they're gonna get away with it.
It's not even. It's worse than that. The owners are gonna think they can do what they want. Yes, I guess you own a team, but this is still a conglomerate. If one owner looks bad or looks weak, you make us all look bad.
All do. Ron!
What it do?
I hate Ron.
No, you don't.
Oh, Lord.
Ron was like, you don't mean that.
No, I don't mean that. Ron,
Mike, how about them Sky, though?
How about them Sky? Hey.
But that reminds me.
Fuck around and find out. Watch the show.
I can't stand you. That reminds me. Shout out to Brittany Griner because the WNBA made her an honorary All-Star.
Woohoo.
So, I mean, it's something. It's something.
She's with 7'5" women in Russia, but booty ass naked right now, getting treated like shit. I don't care about no All-Star appearance.
I'm gonna tell you this right now.
I want to go home.
About All-Star.
I'm gonna tell you this right now.
I want to go home, Pride.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. If I ever somehow get locked up in Russia, I am ending myself.
But you're the ASAP in the morning employee of the month, Pride.
Right.
First of all, I better be. First of all, I better be.
Isn't that good enough for you?
I better be. I better be one day.
Oh man.
But
I really wanted to jump on Freddie Facts so bad last night because Fried tried to defame my name.
I just said the reality. I just said the reality.
Rob. They be coming at you.
They be coming at me. What?
Rob, let me tell you something. Nah, Pride. I'm gonna be responsible. I'm gonna call it for what it is, bro. They're even calling it the Rob Scott. I said something the other day, and Pride was like, "That's the Rob Scott." I was damn. There's a name for it. There's a name for it.
And the only reason why I give Rob such a hard time,
I love it.
The only reason is because when Freddie became a Rams fan, there was two men leading the charge of anti-Freddie. There was two men who started it and led it. That was you, Michael.
Yes,
okay.
Sir. I think it was justified.
And Robert. You two gentlemen led the charge, and then Rob.
And who was the number one soldier? Who was the number one soldier?
Frankie.
You.
No.
Frankie wasn't even there.
Yes, he was.
He might have been.
Frankie was violating him. And he was the number one soldier.
You were there.
I was probably if this was a game,
You were
Mike,
private.
No. If this was like a football game, right? Mike, you're the quarterback. Okay.
Oh,
Rob was your number one wide receiver. Frankie was your running back. And then I was like the cheerleader in the sideline. Like I would occasionally pop in and I would laugh and I would occasionally contribute some stuff, shake my pom-poms, and then I would end up just going back to my corner. Like I kid you not. Yes,
you're lucky that group chat's as long as it is, or I'd go find it. But
nah, bro, honestly, I wish it was so I can go back and actually prove myself.
But I'd say you're like the offensive tackle or something, bro.
No.
You're important. You're important to this team.
No, I'm the offensive coordinator.
Offensive tackle.
I'll say offensive coordinator.
Well, I wasn't gonna say he's a tight end because we all know tight ends aren't important anymore, apparently. So
I guess so. Rob Gronkowski leaves, and all of a sudden,
You might as well say.
Hey, Travis Kelce is still around. Don't you guys?
And Rob, that man's gonna be playing wide receiver this year. Believe that. That. Ain't nobody else out there.
They got Juju.
Go wide.
Yes, sir. Ron, what's up?
They got Juju.
Juju and Jackson gonna be doing other stuff.
Scotland Valley.
Come on.
Oh wait, hold on. We talking about Kansas?
Kansas
is gonna be fine.
It's not sweet though. It's not
Kansas
sweet though.
City is gonna be fine.
No,
bro.
facts. But best receiver is who? Your tight end.
You're right.
Travis Kelce.
Facts.
No, you're right.
Travis Kelce is not like a traditional tight end. I feel like he's like a Swiss Army knife with what you could do with Travis Kelce.
Yeah, you could get very creative with him. He's in the right system with Andy Reid in the head.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
Pride. Back to what I was saying though. That's like, dude, I'm 5'9". That's like if you put me in Cook County Prison in Chicago with the meanest brothers in the world who are all 6'5", 6'7", and then you're like, "Hey, Mike, just want you to know, good job on Skytown, bro."
Frankie goes, got crybabies in the group. First of all, Frankie
in the group, cry about it. Yankees fan. 20.
I knew he was gonna say that. And then, he said,
they were the first MLB team to 50 wins this season.
And I thought it was gonna be Toronto.
Hey, you know what? Back to you. I didn't even say nothing to you. Damn.
Thought it would be Toronto.
Hey,
I thought it was gonna be Toronto.
I think Toronto's gonna be a second half team.
I thought it would be the Dodgers, the first team to 50 in the National League, but I was wrong.
Yeah, sorry, Johnny.
Yeah,
I'm surprised the Mets still ain't. Imagine this: the Nets lead the division without Jacob deGrom
and Scherzer,
who's been hurt.
Once those two guys come back, it's gonna be unfair for the rest.
Right? Did you see the video though of Max Scherzer just did his AA debut?
Yeah, he's done his
and they showed one of the batters. He was just like.
You know what he looked like? I saw that. You know what it looked like? It looked like every time Yu Darvish stepped up to plate last year, it was just he rested the bat and he was like, "I'm just hoping your command messes up and I could get walked."
Yeah,
I'm not swinging. I'm not contact. Like every time Yu Darvish was 0-2, like every time it was like 0-2, he would swing down just to strike out to move on. Yeah. He was like, "I don't know."
Hey, Mike, that was the Draymond face.
Yeah, hell yeah, it was. Dude,
Draymond gotta have a strong jaw holding up that bottom lip.
I just want to say, and I've been talking a lot of mess about Boston, but Draymond got to chill. I saw what he wore to the parade. That he got.
I mean, but you gotta understand.
That's
Draymond is a troll, bro.
But here's the thing. If
Draymond is a troll,
but we also gotta remember something. If Draymond doesn't talk, no one cares about him. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it's actually that's his game too.
Exactly.
Let's be real.
He's not Steph. He's not
he plays as an NBA player. That's the role he plays as an NBA player.
But let's be real. When Clay went down and when KD left,
he is.
Everybody forgot about Draymond.
Exactly. No one cared about Draymond, bro. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like when he has to talk because that's the only way people take him. Like he's credible.
Seriously.
100%.
Yeah, that's just how I look at it. So every time he wins, he's gonna talk. That's just
talk.
He has to.
I'm like, bro, enjoy your parade, bro.
He shouldn't come at the Celtics like that because I think the Celtics was a great opponent. They took their loss like champs.
Thank you for the respect. That's all we ever wanted. Thank you, Bob.
But he does have the right to troll the media because everybody said that the Warriors was done. Even Stephen A. Smith, who went for the Warriors, said that the Warriors was done and that they would never win another championship. So if I'm Draymond, I am definitely trolling.
I'm just saying I'm
definitely trolling.
Well, my thing is I don't care who he trolls because, like I said, he needs that.
He waits for the right moments to call people out.
Like you know what I mean. Like he needs to talk. He needs.
I gotta give ultimate troll statement to Klay Thompson. What he said about Triple J, Jaren Jackson, when he was talking about. Yeah, I remember when they beat us in the
nope. I give Klay zero respect.
The numbers. He said,
nope, I give Klay zero respect. Matter of fact, I actually take respect. I take respect away from Klay. Period.
Hey,
because imagine saying that again. Imagine saying that, but being too pussy to say his name. Let that sink in.
I think he did say his name.
No, he didn't. Klay was like, you got some people saying strength in numbers. And somebody had to go find that tweet.
Oh, somebody's mentioned it.
So
I just know I heard his
Klay
name.
was
That's
about
how
it.
you were talking about.
It's not like Klay was about and this is why I don't knock Draymond that hard for talking. Because at least Draymond, if he says something to you, he either says your name or if he's talking about a team, he'll wear your shirt.
But Pride, my thing is
I'm talking about Kendrick Perkins, by the way. I ain't
exactly. So at the bare minimum, he says that Klay a bitch. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna talk on my mess. Yeah, some guys.
But the way Klay said it though, bro, you gotta give him that. He was like, he's a bum.
Pride, I just feel like
he was a bum the entire playoffs. But if
none of them really said it though.
He's entered PTSD, and then he's gonna go back on it. He's gonna re-injure himself, so he don't gotta deal with it no more.
Stop it. But I feel like Curry didn't say it either. Curry went like this and then left it at that. Like he didn't call out anybody specifically. We all knew who they were talking about. But it was
again, same thing with Steph. It's the same thing. If you're gonna throw a jab, you need to go all the way.
But Pride, you gotta give him this. You gotta give him this. In Klay's case, I'm gonna be real. I took a second. I went, what is Jackson's first name? I didn't remember his first name, but I feel like in that case, Klay played him in a whole series. You probably should know his first name by now, but I really didn't know his first name. Jaren Jackson, whatever. I really didn't. He's not that important. It's kind of like, remember me and you were talking about Jalen Brunson? How long did it take us to learn Jalen's first name? It took a good.
It took us a good. I know
4/4 of the season.
So he was a breakout star in the postseason.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like in Klay's case, it's like Klay don't give a shit. It's not like Klay's looking at him on the scouting report or anything like that. He just remembered he saw a tweet. He was like, "Cool, I'm gonna remember that."
But he remembers Patrick Beverly.
I think it's hard to not remember Patrick Beverly.
Okay, so he remembers Timothy Mozgov.
Everyone remembers.
I'm just saying. With Patrick Beverly in your face calling you a bitch every 2 seconds.
All right. So he remembers Timothy Mozgov.
I would remember Patrick Beverly.
So he remembers Timothy Mozgov.
I don't know. I just think.
I don't know. I don't remember
him. He's in the moment.
Listen, bro.
I forgot about him.
Klay trying so hard to pretend he tough. Yeah, you got guys say strength in numbers. First of all, deepen your voice, bro.
First of all, he has a deep voice.
For an elementary school kid, sure.
Bro, it's not as deep as Draymond's, but it's deep. I hate Draymond's voice.
Draymond's voice is somehow deep and high at the same time.
It bothers me. I can't like place it in one place.
Like I don't know what Draymond's voice is like Pete Davidson's face. It's too much is going on. I can't put my finger on it. It's like Draymond's voice is high, medium, and low. Pete Davidson looks Italian, black, white. I think there's some Hispanic in there somewhere. Is he French? God knows. He's probably was born in Spain. This guy has like the entire spectrum of nationalities, countries, origins, birthplaces.
Shout out Pete.
Ethnicities, whatever you want to call it. He's got all that. And like Draymond has every decibel in his voice every time he talks.
Shout out Pete.
Every time he talks, it's like he's playing a xylophone, bro. It's insane. It's wild, bro. By the way, I don't know if we said this in a while, but just in case, fuck Roger Goodell. Next thing I want to talk to you guys about, Mike, I want to start with you.
Oh, no.
Let's say, because right now it's looking like
Ronald.
Actually, matter of fact, Ron, are you back, Ronald?
I'm back.
All right, good. I got you. Let me start with you. It's going to look like Watson is going to get suspended for a year, right?
Oh, God.
Let's say he does. I want to take a look at the flip side of the coin because I've said this before. If I'm Baker Mayfield, I pretend everything's good. I go out there. I make line adjustments. I even do an audible. I take the snap. I throw the ball down, and I pretend I messed up my shoulder, and I'm out for the year.
Yep.
Ron, is there any realistic chance that Baker Mayfield will play more than one snap for the Cleveland Browns if Deshaun Watson gets suspended?
Oh wow, I see what you did there. I see
So
what you
more than
did.
one snap.
It's more. Should he play more than one snap? It's hard to debate against that. You know, he's healthy. He should stay healthy so he can get ready for his next contract, and he's not going to be committed to the Browns. So why play? However, devil's advocate, why he should play is because he would be driving a Lamborghini. Like, the Browns is nice. They got everything you need. And you don't even have to be the primary source on offense because their run game is ridiculous. The best two-headed tandem in the league. So why not go out there and play around with them toys? And you just got my man from the Cowboys.
Amari
He could
Cooper.
he could look really, really good. And that way, when Deshaun Watson comes back, he can get his pick of the litter and be like, you know what? I think I'm going to go down to Miami and replace Tua. You never know.
Mike, we'll keep the face.
No, fuck that. No, not at all. You know why, Ronald? Because all his plethora of weapons, he had more last year. He had OBJ, he had Landry, he had the same run game, he had the same tight end.
Mike, do you understand the difference of going to work with OBJ compared to Cooper?
And do you understand how bad it'll look if you couldn't make it with OBJ, Landry, and Cooper?
Yeah.
You know how bad that's going to look if he doesn't succeed with Amari Cooper? No one's going to want him. If you can't succeed with Amari Cooper, I don't know what to tell you.
That's actually wrong.
Whoa.
You're wrong.
How?
Whoa.
Amari Cooper is he's a number 2 that tripped his way into being a number 1. He's not a number 1 receiver. I don't know.
And he was awful last season with the Dallas Cowboys.
Thank you, Jonathan. Like,
he wasn't awful. He's inconsistent.
As a number 1, that's awful. If that's your number 1, that is awful.
Okay.
Awful. That is so bad. I have to combine horrible and awful and give you awful. That's how bad.
It's not Allen Robinson bad, but it's pretty bad.
Damn, I'm counting on Allen Robinson.
See, here's the thing. Okay.
I hate Allen Robinson.
I'm glad you said that. Let's say Allen Robinson's garbage. Amari Cooper's recycled.
And
They're
he's
still
better than
both
Chase
going to the
Claypool.
landfill. Oh,
100%.
Jonathan, you heard this, man? Top 3. This motherfucker right here. This guy right here. Freddie says, was that Cooper's fault or Dak's fault? I say both.
I say McCarthy's a big part of it too.
But if you can put him in there, I think
they were an undisciplined football team.
I think there's plenty of blame to go around. I don't think it's one person. I don't think Amari Cooper's the number 1 receiver.
Like,
so I think
can we also talk about Zeke looking like shit too?
Yeah.
It's a big part of it.
Well, on the Dallas Cowboys, CeeDee Lamb has emerged into the number 1.
Like CD is that guy, no question about it.
I don't know if he is yet.
No, I'm saying like CD is viewed as that guy. When you look at the wide receiver 1 of the future, it's not Amari anymore. And that big part of it's Amari's injury history. Now, best route runner in the game, I've talked to Victor Bennett about it, and we all kind of agree. It's Amari Cooper when he's healthy. He's a great route runner. He's just not consistent enough with what he's doing. And I feel like a big part of that is his injury. But what I'm saying, Pride, is now that CD's not there, now that you don't have these tight ends or these running backs that you really have to worry about from a passing perspective, Amari should be that guy again. And if he's not, then that's a whole different conversation of where Amari is now.
What you're saying is that he's going to get more touches.
Yeah, if you fail, and what I'm saying, Pride, is the same way he wasn't throwing the Baker, or throwing to OBJ. If Baker's not throwing to Armani, then I don't know what to tell him. Because that's going to be a problem if he doesn't throw to Amari. Because it's like there's no other real wide receivers out there other than Amari. So if you're missing Amari
you got Donovan Peoples-Jones.
Yeah, you got some guys.
He's going to get touches. Guys. You still got Njoku, and I think you still got Austin Hooper.
Dude.
So
those two didn't see the ball whatsoever last year. I doubt they're going to see it again.
Well, first of all, it's because Njoku was hurt. And for Austin Hooper, it was just because they were trying to give the ball to Jarvis Landry and Odell.
That shit pissed me off. People forget about who Austin Hooper was.
No, they forgot.
Austin Hooper and ATL
was a Hooper. He was listen, his last name was because of how he played.
Oh, yeah.
He was legit back in the day. But this is me. Look. If I'm Baker, this is like I said this before. If I'm Baker, I don't play. I say bleep y'all. I'm not wasting my time with this foolishness. However, I will say this. Because Mike, you said he couldn't make it with Jarvis, which is again not even true because the year prior to that.
He made it but what I'm saying is like he and Jarvis connection solid, right? But that's not translating to anything. That's not evaluating Baker's game. Baker's game isn't getting solely better because of everything he's doing. He's just hitting Jarvis because that's the only guy he can hit. If you can't win these games, I don't know what to tell you. It's a problem.
I'm pretty sure they got one game away from the Super Bowl, Mike. What are we saying?
Oh, was that 2 years ago, Ron? Cry about it.
With Jarvis Landry.
Couldn't get it done.
Right. You can't sit there and say
kind of derailed him as well. We forget that injuries derailed him, and this is a guy who has shown the ability to throw in tight windows.
Yeah, he can, but it's when he picks and chooses to.
Inconsistency and sometimes his accuracy that plagues his team and puts them in a bad situation.
And I tell Pride all the time, and Pride and I have gone back and forth about it. I think he's a Hollywood version of Mitchell Trubisky. I think he's a little bit more talented, a little bit more polished because he actually played in college. And the reality of the situation is he's just more famous. He's more popular. He's more well-liked, and that's the difference. And I think the same with Mitch. He had all the talent in the world. He just got in his own way. And where Mitch has
and that's the part that bothers me. You make 3,951 excuses for why Mitch Trubisky couldn't hack into Chicago, yet for Baker Mayfield, he got in his own way.
Mitch got in his own way too. I just said that. Mitch got in his own way.
Stop it. You said Baker got in his own way, and meanwhile, when it came for Mitch Trubisky, you blamed everybody else but him.
I've blamed Mitchell Trubisky. He's not talented enough. He's not that guy, and that's the problem. And when you have to turn. This was the part that got me. You have to turn the TVs off because I don't want to hear the criticism. Like, bro, you just got to get out of your own head. Whereas Baker, it's more of like an ego check. It's not really a mind block or there's nothing there. All the talent is there. It's just that Baker's going to do it his way, and there's no other way about it. But that's just me.
Baker's a bum.
Bradley.
I'm glad we're starting to.
Baker is a bum.
Glad you agree.
I don't know if we can say that yet.
I mean, he has another opportunity.
Right. I don't know if we can say that yet. I think he should go out.
According to Mike, he's a bum.
So we'll see. We'll see what he does this season because he has another opportunity, and this might be his last.
Does this season really matter though?
Make the best
for Baker.
Make the best of it. For Baker, it does.
I don't think it does for Baker.
Does it though, Jonathan? I'm only asking this because if he has a bad, like, I think this year is honestly the year he should probably just throw everything at the window, or throw everything at the wall and sticks, because he's playing with house money.
Yeah,
they're gonna get rid of him anyway. They're gonna get rid of him anyway, whether it be a trade or they just let him walk in the offseason.
Well, he made it known that he didn't want to play there anymore. So
right, so that's what I'm saying. So like, I think the bridge between them is burned. So it's like, do you think that like he can just be like, oh yeah, the only reason why I kind of struggled last year was,
my shoulder,
he kind of gave up on me, which is what a lot of teams are looking at that situation as.
Right.
So I don't.
I think it could be good or it could be bad though, because it's like on one hand you have it. All right, so Baker's gonna be a little bit more hostile in a good way about the ball. He's not gonna be, holding it in the pocket as much. He's gonna be airing it out. He's gonna be doing what he wants to do because it's like you said, there's nothing to lose. But then there's that on the other hand, it's like, is that gonna replicate into bad decision making, or is he going to be throwing 40 touchdowns and making everybody look stupid? Like it could go either way. And I think that's where you said kind of just put everything out there and just see what happens, because no matter what, if he throws 50 touchdowns and Deshaun Watson's back next year, there's no way they're going to keep Baker just because you just went through all this mess with Deshaun for no reason. Like that doesn't make sense. So it's really just going to come down to that. And I don't know what Deshaun's trade value is going to be in a year. He might have killed 27 people by now. Who knows?
What? If you trade him, trade him to a warm, wetter city. And here's why: because he has shown that he can't withstand the elements where he plays now in Cleveland, and that's also been the issue with him. He hasn't played well in rough conditions from what I've seen.
Well, I just think
that's a lot of guys.
Yeah, only because think about it, the guys like the Ben Roethlisberger, the Aaron Rodgers, the Tom Brady's, the guys who thrive in cold weather, just so happen to have to play half of those games in that weather where they have to get accustomed to it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I don't think it's that Deshaun can't handle the elements. I just don't think he's been exposed enough to the coldness, to the winds, and all that stuff for him to be able to consistently adjust. Because I don't think it's kind of like
took Aaron Rodgers a little bit. He was a California boy, and it took a little while.
Right.
Jared Goff in Detroit,
that's another one.
He's still ass, but he looks a lot better than his first.
He's not ass.
He's all right.
He's not ass.
He's all right.
No, he ain't. I'm not gonna say he's the top tier talent.
No,
he's a bridge guy.
We've been down this road before.
Yeah, no, he's a
Jonathan knows all about this road, and I'm sorry, Jonathan.
No, I'm just saying. I don't think Jared Goff is trash.
No, I don't think he's trash. I'm saying in cold weather is not great. He's not great at all, and he wasn't. But he's getting a lot better, and I feel like being in Detroit is a lot better for him now. I feel like because he's getting acclimated to that.
Yep.
He's a below average system quarterback.
Weird. It's almost like you just described Joel Embiid. Tough. Excuse me.
Back-to-back runner-up MVP. Right.
Imagine being second best.
Yeah. First loser.
Imagine being second best. I would know about that because we lost in the finals. So imagine being second best.
Right. The irony.
Zoink. Yow. Mike, I don't want to hear nothing, bro. Because you guys were like,
I have nothing. I have nothing, sir. I said nothing.
You were thinking something.
I wasn't. I was like, I hope he doesn't say nothing to me.
But look, if I'm Baker, I don't know. Honestly, me personally, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't take it. I wouldn't take the risk of going to an organization who just doesn't give a rat about me. Rob, any chance that Baker Mayfield, in your mind, let's say Deshaun Watson gets suspended for a year, right? Is there any chance that he plays for more than one snap for the Browns, or do you think that bridge is too burnt and they're gonna have no choice but to get rid of him one way or another?
They're gonna have to get rid of him after this season, but he's gonna play this season.
Awesome, thank you so much.
Baker's gonna play this season. Deshaun's not gonna play. Too many accusations against him. It's coming out now. He might be suspended for a year at least. So Baker's gonna have to play. Now, if I'm Baker, he also has to raise his stock, similar to a Kyrie with that conversation. Like how you're borderline kind of stuck in having to play for what you don't want to play for. In this case with Baker, for who you don't want to play for, to raise your stock to get up out of there. So to me, unless he can James Harden his way out of Cleveland, you're gonna at least play for them for this season. How good he plays is up to him. I know we all joke and say he should throw games, but right now he's also trying to bring re-awareness back to the name of Baker Mayfield.
So, Robert Scott.
Yes, sir.
If the Cleveland Browns win the Super Bowl this year with Baker Mayfield, what happens going into
If I'm
2023?
Baker, I still want to trade.
Well, he gonna walk after this year. He gonna walk.
Right. I'm still gone. Even if we win the Super Bowl, it's gonna be like, you got what you needed. I fulfilled my contractual obligations. I'm not even saying the word piece. Pride.
Yep.
You ever seen the meme of the kid who disappears when he does that?
That's exactly what I'm doing.
Oh, hold on. Ready? Hold on. If I'm Baker, this is me.
Right.
Straight like that. I'm gone. You ain't seeing nothing.
Hey, boy, you a master editor, ain't you?
Thank you. I try. But boy, yo, straight up, listen, and I'm with you. I don't think, and this is just me, Rob. I was saying this earlier. I don't think this year really matters that much to Baker, because you can kind of make the art. Because everyone always does this, no matter how you played. They always say, "Oh, it's an ugly breakup. The end is always going to be bad, etc., etc." So,
I give your editing.
I feel like I'm in the dunk contest. Thank you.
But if you were in the dunk contest,
I gotta put on Tim's.
No one's been giving a 10 in the dunk contest. Everyone,
bro, they gave Cole Anthony a 10 for the most generic dunk in Tim's.
Talking about in the Tim's?
What?
I call it the New York style dunk.
We aired that one out while you were gone yesterday, Rob. We had a whole conversation about Cole Anthony. It was beautiful.
He'd be talking reckless too. Maybe we should do a segment on people that talk reckless that shouldn't talk reckless.
100%. Klay Thompson, stop it. Your knees hurt.
Honestly, bro.
Yeah.
On, bro. Draymond, your chin got stretch marks because of how heavy your lip is. Yeah. Who's next?
Draymond, your team's been through more than Kevin Durant's Achilles. Next.
Oh,
yeah.
Lord, Jesus.
Yep. No, bro. We coming for him. Yo, Steph, you're not small because of your genetics. You're small because your girl can't cook.
And you like feet. And you like feet.
Hey, you coming at everybody but Steph.
No, I'll come at Steph the hardest. Pause. All right. I will.
What is it with you and Steph, man?
I hate him with a passion.
He ain't did nothing to you.
I feel like my head.
He was born.
Look, Pride, it's like that little kid. You're like, what did I do? I ain't did nothing.
You were born.
Jonathan, sir, I think you're muted.
Pride, you need to read the article that I wrote. I think it'll change your mind. After
See, just for you saying that, I'm a quadruple down. F Steph.
Jonathan did some great work on that article. I feel like he put his heart and his soul in that article. He brought up some very, very great points in that article about Steph Curry and why he deserves all the respect that he should be getting right now. I know you don't care, Pride. I see the look on your face.
Oh, I don't.
Pride,
listen here, Santiago. I need you.
I hate you so much.
Oh,
I hate you.
Oh man.
I don't even want to be here anymore, man.
I can't help it, man. I love it, bro. Hey, you know what though? Your hair is growing back like extra quick.
It is. I was gonna say
you was like bald,
bro.
Now you about to be in twisty protocol in a second. Get the twisties on.
That's what I said, bro. In 6 months, my hair's probably gonna be the same, and I'm gonna braid it.
I miss my hair.
Yep.
Yes.
Working in corporate America, you got to keep it cut. Don't want to look like a thug.
Damn, you selling out on us, Rob? That's tough.
Hey, for a check, I'm selling out.
Yeah, let me shut my mouth because you give me a good check. I'm selling out real quick. So let me shut my mouth. Let me shut my mouth. But look, if I'm Baker, I don't play.
Baker's gonna play.
No, he probably will. I'm just saying, if I'm him, because we gotta remember, Baker's a petty dude. He a petty dude.
Hey, if he trying to get them State Farm checks again, he gonna play.
And he's gonna just ride it out.
Hulu has live sports.
Just ride it out.
Hey, I'm just saying, if Hulu's looking for a new ignorant white boy to take Baker's spot, Hulu has live sports. Hulu has live sports. You know it. You know it, Pride. Check it out, Pride. Check it out, Pride. This is for you. Pride. This is for you. Look. I can do it too. Check this out. Hold on.
You got it.
Hold on. Check it out.
Good. Mike, get your butt back in here.
Yeah. So we're waiting to hear back on that. There's one left. I'm gonna go upstairs though because I have to.
Thank you, sir.
So Rob will be at the desk, but I just want.
Rob will be at the desk. Y'all heard that? Rob will be at the desk.
Rob will be at the desk.
Robert will be at the desk.
Yup.
He'll be like, "Hey, you got your ID? You got your pass? You supposed to be in here?" Hey.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah.
Hey, Steph Curry wouldn't let this slide. I cannot let this slide. Personally, me?
I'm gonna go upstairs.
I'm about to crack my hip. Hold on.
It happens. Look at Rob.
Damn.
Look at Rob.
That was a good crack, bro. Goddamn. That guy ain't got to walk because I be walking like a cripple.
Look at Ronald.
We got more stuff on the way, ladies and gentlemen. But until then, we're gonna take a quick break. We will be right back.
Big old commercial.
Get ready. This summer, the Arena League Sports is on ASAP Network. Tune in live on either the Tiki Live or Roku app, as well as your smart home TV.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we're making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. Sport, all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
We're back, ladies and gentlemen. So I want to play a game with y'all. I'm gonna start throwing out some NBA rookies, and I want y'all to let me know whether or not they are worthy of a max rookie contract.
Fuck no, none of them.
There's gonna be a few.
I was just kidding.
Yeah, you better be kidding. Honestly, I'm not even gonna bring up John Morant because I think we're all in agreement that he's gonna get that
Supermax.
Oh, I thought we were talking about this year's rookies.
No, they don't deserve nothing but rookie contract. They haven't done anything. I get where Pride's coming from. You're talking about people that's about to get off their rookie contract.
Yeah, I understand, Pride. I misunderstood the assignment. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you definitely misunderstood, dummy.
That's why I said I was sorry. Damn.
My fault. I'm a clown. All right. Zion. Because he's talented. He's got the talent.
Not from New Orleans.
Whoa. Hold on. So you think so? You think he leaves New Orleans or something? You think he gets traded?
Bad look if New Orleans does it and it doesn't work out. If the New York Knicks or somebody like that pays for Zion, it's kind of like, yeah, why not? Maybe just a change of scenery. But I don't know.
You're saying
I'm not giving him a max deal.
Hold on. So Mike, you're saying yes, just not from New Orleans.
Just not from New Orleans.
Okay. Hold that thought, Rob. Jonathan, Zion. So you're saying no?
I'm not giving him a max deal. No.
You're not giving him a max? Rob, You're saying no? Ronald.
I'm giving him a max deal and whatever else he wants, cheesesteak and dinner.
Thank you.
Don't get him no cheesesteak. They gonna be in the same position you in.
I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him steak, but it's gonna be.
What's he take first, the dinner or the money?
You better get him some Impossible steak.
Nah, bro. We gonna get him nice and plump.
I'll take the steak.
No. We gonna get him fat. That way he can't leave.
I'll take the dinner.
Hey, we don't gotta get him fat. He's there.
That's it. Have you seen him?
Have you not seen that new commercial, Mike?
He big as
shit.
Mike? He's big as shit.
That boy was throwing that.
He looked good.
Wasn't he? Hey, Pride.
He looked good. Hey, Pride. And Pride, what did I say? I said I would apologize if I saw the video of it. There was only pictures. Seen the video. I don't know how you could fake that. It looked nice. Like Pride and I said, hey, revenge tour.
You know
what you mean, Pride and I?
I said revenge tour yesterday.
But you know what though? I agree, Mike. Like
Pride's the quarterback.
Somebody's gonna offer him a supermax.
I just don't think it should be New Orleans because then if it doesn't work out in New Orleans, they're gonna be like, "You're dumb."
When is he up for the contract? Is it next year?
Yeah, so after this year.
Yeah,
I mean, if he comes back and gives me a full season, then if I'm New Orleans, I'm gonna give it to him.
And you got to assume if depending on TJ and everybody, but they're gonna probably make.
Let's think about it let's think about it from the standpoint. That's a nice big three. It's not the greatest big three, but CJ, BI, and Zion can get some things done.
Like Valanciunas too is a good conversation.
Yeah. And now you're not so
big four.
Man, if Zion stretches that game out though, boy, we talking about unstoppable almost.
Yeah. So yeah, I think he deserves it.
Yeah, it depends on this season. I'll say that. Let me change my answer.
Nope.
If he gets through the season,
nope. I need you to commit.
You saw I had to talk through the.
I don't care. Hey,
right now, Freddie. Freddie. Hold on. Let me talk about Freddie for a second because I noticed when Freddie was saying his jokes yesterday, you did not want to put up my comments, Mr. ABCDEFG.
I did. Hold on. I did put it up, kind sir. Hold on. I did put it up, kind sir.
I thought Freddie was controlling them comments because I'm like, he's steady throwing little jabs.
I put it. No, you talking about last night, right? Yeah. I only put up one comment.
Hey, Freddie,
I realized it was Freddie shows.
You look like the unedited version of me. So I'm the real Rob, and you're like Robert.
You're Walmart Rob.
Yo. He was like, you the draft Rob that we put in the recycle bin.
You like God was thinking about making you Rob, and he was like, forget it. You don't want to go there with me, bro. I'm from the city of Chicago. We talk about people all day.
Yo, Rob said Freddie was God's first mistake. What the hell?
I talk about people all day. I'm the king of roast. I used to make people cry. You know why?
Was eating those hot dogs.
What you Texas boys eating, period. Boy,
I heard those Texas boys eat the hot dogs without the buns.
He talking about Freddie. He talking about you.
Freddie's just a glizzy gobbler. That's what I heard. I'm not gonna lie though, Pride. I was listening to this song by G-Eazy the other day. I forgot what it's called, but E40's in it, and I was driving down the block. I was like, he kind of do sound like Rob sometimes.
Oh, my weebalization,
Just sometimes, but like he don't look like Rob, but he definitely sounds like
E40, man. That's my dude.
Oh, what happened, Freddie? What happened?
I think he just said, "What up?"
All right, next guy.
Next guy. This one is gonna be a tricky one for some people.
Well, Pride, you can't tell me I can't change my answer. Yes, I'm changing my answer about Zion.
Okay, so you said nope. So you say yeah. Nope. You stuck with yeah. Mike, I'm starting with you. RJ Barrett.
Ooh.
See, that's a tough one. And by the way, this isn't for the deals. This is for the max rookie extension. Because you can extend them as rookies, but then after next year, they can't get the rookie extension. That's when it starts going to max and super max and stuff like that. So this is their last chance to get that max rookie extension.
I think you have to because what else is there? There's nothing there. You got Cam Reddish, buns. You got Derrick Rose. Love you, Derrick, but no. And then you got Julius Randle. And it's like, other than that.
And he don't even want to be there.
So you got to lock down RJ because, one, RJ's got hella potential. I mean, let's talk about RJ Barrett for a minute. I shitted on dude his rookie year because I thought he really underperformed. Freddie, you didn't even start, my brother. But it really comes down to it. To where RJ is looking a lot better. And I feel like with a real cast around him and a true point guard around him, I feel like you might be able to have a conversation that this kid's a top 15, top 20 player in the league. I think he's just not there yet. But if you give him for this deal, that's a lot better than giving him some kind of super max later on down the road. So I think you would give it to him.
Okay. You agree, Jonathan?
Yeah, I think so too. I think we went to RJ Barrett. I mean, he's improved, year after year, it seems. So I think you give him that max offer.
Ron, just hold on to your thought because I see the disgust in your face. Just hold on to it. Robert Are you with Mike and Jonathan? Do you think he deserves the max rookie extension, or are you not giving it to him
by default?
That's where I was.
I agree with
Ronald,
Mike.
I want you to know that just because it's the Knicks, yes,
it's like by default. Now I won't go that far and say that I mean I see potential in RJ. I think sometimes RJ does a little too much.
Yeah.
And I felt that way when he was at Duke. Like you can tell he was trying so hard to get eyes off Zion that he would do too much. And I think he still carries on that persona with the New York Knicks. However, he was like instant offense for that team. Right. You know, and that's one thing you can say about RJ
it's like
Barrett.
If you had
like
4 chairs out there, bro.
Yeah. You know, he made people look like what Pat Beverly say made a couple people look like some cones. So I think by default, like basically, who else is there in New York?
Yeah,
you got to keep some type of attraction there. So I'm gonna say yes.
And he's attractive, and Rob, to go back to what you were saying, that all comes with growth and maturity. He's still young. He's still growing.
Yeah.
He still needs time to develop, and I think he'll get there at some point.
Y'all should be ashamed.
Ron, come on, Ron.
Ron. I asked for one favor. One favor I asked for me, Ron. Can you please bring some honesty, some truth, some legitimacy to this portion of this conversation? Because I don't think I've ever been as disappointed.
I almost threw up this RJ love fest.
Educate him.
Y'all don't like RJ?
It's not that I don't like him.
Who else you gonna give it to him?
Well, it's just that we don't see him.
Who else is there?
What it is, we don't see him often enough to evaluate his game.
Yes, you do.
I do.
Yeah, so we've seen enough. Here's the problem with RJ. He's a guy who's got. He's not a starter. Let's just call it what it is. He's not a starter.
He's too much, like Rob said.
He's not a starter in this league. Let's just call it what it is.
Well, he's a star.
Put a spot on the Knicks
because the Knicks are a horrible franchise.
But that's
the
what
same
I'm
thing.
saying.
But it's the same thing with
Cole. Bad, they're gonna pay him.
But I'm just
somebody there.
No,
someone's gonna get
He's not the same thing as what?
It's the same thing as Cole Anthony.
Oh, I thought you were saying Kobe White.
He starts only because you have no other option.
He's better than Cole, bro.
No, I'm just saying it's the same thing, and I put him in that same category.
Yeah, I get you. No, I get you.
But I feel like Pride. My thing is though, like he is getting better.
Yeah, don't get it twisted. He's getting better, but
like he's averaging 20 points. I feel like that's a good
Ron said,
20 points off 27 shots.
RJ Barrett love fest.
So it's horrible.
Wait, who just?
That was funny.
I'm just saying.
Ronald
left. Yeah, Ronald. I think he was just trying to restart his day. But I mean, look, for me, I'm not giving RJ that, bro. I'm not.
So you just let him go?
I would talk to him and try to get something. Of course.
But that's why I feel like as the Knicks, you have to, because you already look at Obi Toppin. You whiffed on Obi Toppin because he's not the guy you expected him to be. You have nothing else going for you. Mitchell Robinson.
Hold on. It's not that Obi Toppin is not the guy. They're not giving him the opportunity.
No, they don't use him right.
So I'm not blaming Obi. Like the few times they put him out there. But here's the thing.
The Knicks need to fire that whole organization.
Yeah.
I mean, 100%. But here's my thing. And Ronald, I don't know if you picked up on this. Y'all making it seem like RJ Barrett is the face, the future, and he is the New York Knicks.
No, I wouldn't say the future, but he's definitely the face of the Knicks right now. I'm not saying they're saying anything, but he's the best person there.
He's not even the face of the Knicks. If I say the New York Knicks, you think of Julius Randle before.
I know. I think of Julius Randle wanting to leave the Knicks. I think of Julius Randle getting booed by the Knicks.
I don't think any of them. I think it's Spike Lee.
I think of Julius Randle about.
I'm not even mad at that.
I can't get mad at that answer.
I'm not even mad at that. To
Ron,
be honest,
I can't get mad at that answer.
They don't have nobody worthy.
I'll be Spike Lee. I see
Derek.
Yeah. Well, you can make that argument, but I also do think it's a little bit of the Chicago.
Derek's been there longer, but
I'm not giving it to RJ.
The problem with RJ is that hopefully he realizes he maximized
he's Canadian.
his potential at the Knicks, and hopefully the Knicks realize that he's maximized himself in their horrible organization.
He's too nice.
They need to move on. If I'm the Knicks, I'm calling up the Kings. I got RJ Barrett. Whatever you want, maybe Obi Toppin, I feel like they like Obi Toppin, and I'm going after Ivy and getting my franchise point guard and starting over.
Hey, but let's not act like this. The Knicks will be doing RJ Barrett a favor if they let him go.
That would be great for both
Not
parties.
to Sacramento. Not to Sacramento.
Hey, I'll go to Sacramento. At least I get to play with De'Aaron Fox, play with Sabonis. Hey, I'm gone.
That's a fun team.
How long is that going to be a fun team for? A whopping, 2 months?
Yeah,
Before Sabonis gets traded, Fox gets released. Yo, like,
yeah, I don't trust
California.
I don't know, guys. I think Julius Randle goes before RJ Barrett.
Hey, Julius don't want to be there. Now, now, you know what we said about Baker Mayfield? About y'all saying you don't know if he'll play for Cleveland? I think Julius don't come out and do nothing for the Knicks. He probably is injured in the first week, and until he gets traded, I can't play.
And I'll move him this offseason.
But yeah, my thing is like it's like we said though. It's just like Ron pointed out, and Robert too, is by default. It's if he gets it, it's gonna be by default, just because New York literally understands the problem right now. Pride for me and why he gets it. You have to look at what's going on. You have to look at Zion right now. If he comes back, he's already averaged 27 points per game in a year. You know, he's injured, so you kind of washed last year. You scratch it. Ja has made a deep playoff run. Trey's made a deep playoff run. Luka's made a deep playoff run. If this guy just lets RJ walk, oh, dude, as a GM, you're fired. You're fired.
You're not.
He should have been fired.
You're
I don't think RJ Barrett will be the straw that breaks the camel's back.
Well, honestly, because that back is already broken.
Well,
they're
if
trying
you
to
lose
fix
Mitchell Robinson, you lose Julius Randle, and then you let the guy you took top 3 leave.
See, but the problem that you're trying to do, you just made a very horrible mistake. You thought it was a good idea to try to put RJ Barrett in the same stratosphere, on the same planet,
but that's
in the same galaxy as Trae Young, John Morant, and Luka Doncic.
But that's what I'm saying is he took this kid so high, and you look at him, and it's like now you're just gonna let him walk, and we didn't even get to do anything with him. Like, why did you even draft the kid if you didn't think he was gonna be worth it?
The Knicks have done dumber.
That's what I'm saying.
So
how long have the Knicks been in rebuild mode?
Long time.
They've been in rebuild mode since like the last 2 mellow years.
When did Porzingis? When did D Rose get there the first time? That was the second rebuild.
Porzingis.
No, what we need to do is start a petition for the owner to have to sell the team.
Oh yeah, for sure.
No, us. Ask us. Us. He means us.
But you know what's bad though? That brings us back because I remember we were talking about this when KD and Kyrie had a choice to go to anywhere. Like, you chose Brooklyn over the Knicks. That said a whole lot.
KD chose the Knicks though. Kyrie was the one that didn't. But
we see what happens when you let KD lead. You know, that's why he's not a good leader. See, Kyrie was like, "We just gonna go to Brooklyn. Look what they running over there in New York. We good. We gonna go to Brooklyn and we'll be all right."
Yeah, he got butthurt. Kyrie got butthurt because he wanted to go to New York first, and they were like, "Bro, you're not coming by yourself. I don't know who the fuck. You're either coming with KD or you're
like,
not."
Now that I got KD, I'm not coming to you now.
He's like, "Fine, I got KD. I don't care."
Both of them New York teams are dysfunctional. Both of them.
Yeah, they are. Next name, this right here, as if you thought RJ Barrett was a hot button issue,
come on,
this was going to be even more. Tyler Hero.
Oh no. Lord Jesus.
Pack your bags.
I'm gonna say this right now. I'm gonna put it to you this way.
He says he wants to be a starter.
Can't even spell starter. So let's get him out of here with that.
I want to be 6'5".
Okay, I want my dad.
Not happening.
Here I am.
I want to be a billionaire so freaking bad.
Honestly, I want my kids to respect me.
I want to live in a mansion.
Okay, I want to be able to cross the street and not be called the N-word. Here I am.
I want Ron booty ass naked. What?
Wait, whoa. We're not gonna skip past that like you ain't just say that.
Yo, Ron turned in like Ron is like, this is the portion of the episode where I leave. Look,
I don't know who's worse at trolling, Mike or Frankie. Because Frankie be saying so.
You know why it's me? Because Frankie be trolling. I mean,
Mike is serious. I'm Mike. Mike is the definition of I said what I said and I meant it.
I'll double down on it.
He'll
I'll
triple
take my
down.
pants off first.
He'll quadruple down, bro. While he got you on your quadruples. That's the type of dude Mike is right now, bro.
I make teachers change their career paths.
Oh God, bro.
Miss Steigerbald from 8th grade. I'm sorry. She did. She
What
never
a
came back.
snitch! You are.
Oh, you
She never came back. She quit.
Oh,
teaching.
you're one of them kids, huh? I'm dealing
Yeah.
with some of them kids right now.
Jonathan, I'll make
See,
you
Mike
question
was
the
probably
whole-
one of them kids that I talked to about my wife when I'm like, I couldn't be a teacher.
Oh, yeah.
They would be arresting me, like, you gotta let him go. Get him out the chokehold.
But Tyler Hero, a kid who is. Am I allowed to say it?
Bubble
White.
fans.
White.
He's mid. He's mid.
Ooh.
Tyler Hero. He's mid. He's
Tyler
the
Hero
definition of
welcome
mid.
to the barbecue anytime.
That's fine. He not eating though. Shoot, y'all can invite him. Y'all can invite him all y'all want. He coming hungry and he leaving hungrier.
What's up with you and Tyler Hero?
I don't like him. You a bitch.
He's why
What'd
Jimmy
he
doesn't
do?
have a ring.
He's a bitch.
What did he do to you?
With his
He exists, Jonathan. That's what he did to me. He exists. He exists. Like
Man,
I
pay
hate
that
Steph.
man.
You said
Pay
what?
that man.
I'm paying a man. I got no intentions of starting.
Pay that man. The Heat wouldn't have got to where they got to without Tyler Hero. Pay that man.
Thank you.
Pay that man.
Thank you.
You mean the same Tyler Hero
He's
that
a
shot
great
40% in
player
the
off the
playoffs?
bench. He's a 6 man for a reason, Pride.
Pay that man. That man.
I am not giving a max extension to
Wasn't he
a
the
six
sixth man of the year?
man.
Yeah, he was.
That
the
is-
6th man of the year, right?
Okay, let me ask you something. Jordan Clarkson won it 3
But
times in a
you
row.
gotta understand though, Pride. He thinks he's a starter, so you might have to move him or give him a starting role. And
Pat
he's
Riley don't think he's a starter.
He's not gonna start in Miami though.
Because he's not good enough.
I heard a proposed deal that
He's
the
a
Lakers-
liability.
Hey, I heard.
He's not.
Defensively, he is.
Hey, I
And
heard
offensively too.
He is.
I heard a
offensively,
proposed
too.
trade that the Lakers should trade him for LeBron James, him and Duncan Robinson.
LeBron won a.
I didn't come up with that. I heard.
Yo, Jonathan, some people be coming up with the weirdest trades
Yeah, that's weird.
ever.
Yeah,
Honestly, no, that's not even
Let me
weird.
tell you
That's-
something.
That's stupid.
If Tyler Hero is in the same breath as a LeBron James trade, he better be like the 5th name on that list. Like you better be sending half your roster for LeBron. Come on now.
Yeah.
You should
Tyler,
never. It should
Sam.
never be a situation where Tyler Hero and LeBron James are mentioned in the same breath.
The
Right.
only time it should be mentioned is when LeBron James literally put his nuts on Tyler Hero's neck. That's the only time they should ever be in the same conversation. That's it.
Wow.
People
LeBron
be
done
killing
dunked
me,
on.
but y'all better put some respect.
Wow,
on that, man.
Ron said, "Wow."
I mean, he's not on the level of
No,
a
he's
LeBron
not.
James, but he's good off the bench. He's the best 6 man.
He's good off the bench, but like Mike said, and I have to agree, he is a liability defensively,
And offensively.
not offensively. He
Not
can play.
offensively.
He can play now.
Bro,
But that's most
Look
of
how Miami
This
performed
kid-
when he wasn't
this-
on the court, and look how they performed when he was there.
and he was
That's
so
what-
great that he shot 40% for the playoffs. What are we talking about?
Banger.
Let anybody else do that. Let anybody else
Oh,
do
we
that.
got a mad react.
Let everybody else do that.
Why you
Anybody
mad?
else.
But we hold Tyler to a different standard. We don't hold him up here.
The standard of bums. Yes, I
But we
understand.
hold him right here. And if he can just play right here, I'm cool with that.
So playing right here is worth being paid up here.
No, I'll pay, like if he's right here, I'll pay him like right here.
So you're gonna slightly overpay him.
I'll
Slightly.
slightly overpay.
Slightly. So slightly
Maybe a
overpaying
little
him is the max extension.
Nah, he
Well,
don't
if you
get no
don't get-
max.
Right,
And that's what I'm saying. Right, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about.
I
would
was
you
just
give
saying
them
pay
a
that
max
man to be a
extension?
troll. I was saying pay that man to be a troll. Hell
Right,
no,
you
I'm not paying
obviously forgot that he
that. I'm
was
not paying
banged
that
up.
man no max.
He was banged up in the playoffs.
Yeah, but I'm not giving him no max money.
He. Even
I like
before he
if
got
if
banged
he
up,
He was
man.
the 6th man before he was banged up.
If
If he
So,
worth 10 million, I might give him 13.
And that's fine. That's fine.
You know what
But
I'm
I'm
saying?
just saying. And Jonathan, and my thing is, when he was healthy, he was still coming off the bench.
he was still the
So-
6th man. He's still a
so-
liability.
At least with Jordan Poole, they'll start him.
What you was about to
At
say,
least with Jordan
Ron?
Poole, they'll start him.
I'll be
Go ahead,
devil's advocate. Looking at his stats, 21 points a game, 45 from the field, 40% from 3,
Bang.
5 rebounds, 4 assists.
I'll get that man
but,
13.
But the part that hits is every year he continues to progress and progress and progress. It sounds like he should get starting guard money to me.
I'm not giving him super max money though.
But he's not starting.
He would have to go somewhere else. And
He can't start on Miami.
I feel like with a starting role, he would continue to progress.
No, I don't think so. I don't think
But
so.
here's
I
the
don't
problem.
think so, Ron.
But here,
I don't
Ron,
think
here's
so.
the problem with that.
You gotta
because
understand him
Go
playing
ahead, Ron.
off the bench. It kind of helps with that elevation of his play that he gets every year. You throw him in that starting lineup, he's gonna get exposed, bro. You talk about playing the best of the best every game from start.
When you look at his plus minus, okay, we're gonna say Tyler Hero gives you 20 points, and then LeBron will fucking drop 40 on him. Okay, so that's minus 20.
Yeah.
So it's not great.
I know. Don't even talk about LeBron. Talk about who he's gonna have to match up with.
Talk about anybody.
You gonna have to, and let's not even go to top guards.
Zach LaVine, Donovan Mitchell,
or the
whoever it may
Lucas in
be,
the
they're
world.
dropping buckets on his head. Like
De'Aaron Fox gonna kill that boy. Dame Lillard gonna kill that boy. Hell, Cole might kill that boy.
Hey yo, Lonzo Ball is gonna rip the heart out this kid.
Big baller band.
Marcus Smart gonna kill that boy. I'm just.
And we're doing all this without mentioning the top guards, by the way. No one's talking about Steph. No one's talking about Luka.
Nope.
We're not even.
I ain't gonna talk about Trey because Trey put 50 on the tater top.
100%. I think that's where it speaks. And Pride, you let me know if I'm being Jimmy Butler fan biased.
You're being Jimmy Butler fan biased.
I'm just saying, if Tyler Hero was that kind of super max level player, they would have already won a finals by now, whether that was in 2020 or whether that was this year or whenever. They wouldn't have missed the playoffs the year before.
They would have got past the Celtics.
Tyler's exactly what's been holding that team back.
Well, can't we make the argument if
Not
he didn't
saying
get
it
injured,
like
they
that,
beat the
but what I'm
Celtics?
saying is they took the Celtics to game 7.
Jaylen Brown would have killed that boy.
If Tyler Hero is a max player, Miami wins that.
Jaylen Brown would have killed that boy. 100%. 100%. That's why you weren't in the starting
Peyton
lineup.
Pritchard, who is our worst defensive player, would have gave him problems. If y'all want to talk about it and y'all ready to have a legitimate conversation.
Speaking of Jaylen Brown, boy, that boy hit some shots in that finals.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta give bro his just due.
He wasn't going.
Watching some of those games, and I'm looking at some of them shots. Like, boy, that boy Jaylen. Hey, Jaylen say he might be the best person on the Celtics, but we'll talk about that at a different time.
I think he's the most consistent person on the Celtics.
Yeah,
Ronald
is more consistent.
Maybe the Celtics should trade.
Over too much.
Ooh, what you say, Ron? You trying to start some stuff?
What did Ron say?
He say
Don't
should
start
they trade
no
Jason
stuff.
Tatum?
Won't be no stuff.
Trade Jason
The
Tatum.
Celtics trade Jason Tatum.
I don't think Jason
Look at
Tatum.
pride face. Oh Lord Jesus, you know.
My man just made a finals.
I don't think Jason Tatum is ever going to win a championship as a number one.
Don't say that.
I don't think he has to be the number one. I think Jaylen Brown can be the number one.
No, he's not.
Oh,
He's a certified.
Jesus,
He's a
the
certified.
face off
number
of
two.
the angel is boiling.
He's a certified number 2, but he's a number 2 that will win you a championship if he has a number 1.
Just know consistently though, he's a number one. If he's consistent, he's a number one. There's no question about it.
Jaylen Brown's not consistently a number 1.
This just goes to show me that
Ron, I don't think you're watching Boston games.
You never watched Boston. You've never watched a Boston game outside of the times where we slapped the shit out of Philadelphia. That is the only time you watched them. That's it.
Oh,
How
Boston
y'all do
needs a point guard.
Rob, how many games did Jaylen Brown win the Celtics in the finals?
Talk about the finals. He won them the 2 they won.
If you want to say the 2, that's fine.
Al
If you wanna say
Horford
the 2,
didn't
that's
win.
fine.
Al Horford.
Oh yeah, you're right. Al
He won
Horford
his game.
won one.
Al Horford had a hell of a game 1. Oh, I understand that. Now,
He
let me ask you
won
something. Does that neglect what he did to Miami? Does that neglect what he did to Giannis and the Bucks? Does that neglect what he did to... So stop trying to get one
I
series.
said he's a certified number 2. Why y'all
That
trying
boy
to force him
Tatum
to say
killed.
he's a
He
one?
killed KD.
He's
I know
not a
that much.
certified number 2 because what happened in the finals is literally what happens every time we play. Who has the hotter hand? And they're the ones who basically carries the game.
Okay, fine.
That's how it's always been. That has literally been the knock on these two guys ever since they started playing with each other. Now all of a sudden that happens on the finals, the same thing people knock them for, all of a sudden instead of all of a sudden that's a bad thing. When in all actuality, We got two kids who came to wreck cars, leading us to the finals.
All they need is a point guard. They just needed somebody to get them settled. That's
who's that? Who's that miracle savior?
Because Marcus Smart he's not a point.
We don't need a miracle saver.
Who was it in 2016? Oh, Andre Iguodala, but was he a number one? Was he?
No, bro, he came off the bench. I don't give a shit.
So I don't care about Al Horford in game one either. It doesn't mean you're at number one. It just means you had a nice game. You had a good series. That doesn't mean you're a number one. Like, here's what's bothering me, Rom. Everyone's going to be like, oh, yeah, Andrew Wiggins had a great playoff series defensively. But that's not Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins played great in the playoffs. The same conversation with Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson being the next Splash Brothers. Look at them now. Where are they now?
I laughed so hard when I heard that.
Where are they now?
Oh, my God.
Done. Over with.
Hey, I laughed so hard when I heard when they compared those two dudes to the Splash Brothers, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. That tickled my fan.
Pride, I'm sorry, I unlocked the Golden State, Rob. I didn't mean to.
No, it wasn't even that. You can't even compare Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson to Derrick Rose and Ben Gordon, bro. Like, it was just bad.
Ronald, can I ask you something?
Please.
Is Joel Embiid a one? Because he's not a savior.
This getting good.
I've seen that man crying, running out of tunnels, and I have seen him coming in them.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
I mean, Joel Embiid's never gotten out of the second round of the playoffs. Jaylen Brown has been to the conference finals and the finals. Jaylen Brown.
Oh, no, stop.
You didn't answer my question.
Stop. No, hold on, Mike. Mike, I have to step in. Stop. What you just did was the dumbest thing possible.
That was a great president answer.
What you just did
that was a political
answer. Jaylen Brown made it.
Uh-oh.
When on that same
you put on the Top Guns, Mike?
Was Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum made it to an Eastern Conference Finals and took LeBron 7 games. Whoa.
All I'm saying, Pride, is if you the Celtics owner and I'm the Sixers owner, you call me up and say, you give me Embiid, I'll send you Jaylen Brown. I'm going to have to think about it.
Yeah, you would, because you're a Sixers fan and you're a poverty franchise and you're trying to get rid of Embiid because my guy can't spell healthy, never mind stay it. That's
don't worry. Embiid tried to force his way to Miami anyway.
Right, that's what I was going to say.
And that's fine. He can force his way out.
Embiid is showing he's not a number one because he want to run down there and play with Jimmy.
He want to go play with Jimmy.
And that's fine. He going to force his way out so hard. He going to force his shoulder clean out of its socket. So why are we talking about him?
If you bought me James Harden, I'll be trying to run up out of there too.
And why they have to get James Harden?
Because they didn't have nobody.
Because his goofy ass was crying about Ben Simmons.
Come unhappy there, and then he gonna want out.
Yeah, well, you know exactly, Jonathan.
Hey, that's a good point, Pride. That's a good point.
I promise you right now, after everything he's been through, I promise you he want Ben Simmons now. I promise you he not looking at Maxey the same. I promise you he not looking at Matisse Thybulle like he lit.
I think he's looking at Maxey the same.
Smoking herbs. He looking at him worse.
He's not looking at J. Cole.
I don't think Maxey did nothing wrong.
No. But what Maxey did was he was supposed to be that guard and replace him, and he's been too inconsistent to actually be that.
Yeah, but he's so young.
And so, guess who's not young?
I said this on my podcast. If you was banking on Maxey being the best guard on your team, you wasn't winning nothing.
No, I think it's way too early to have that conversation.
That's all I'm saying, bro. That's all I'm saying.
Shoot. And I like Maxey.
Bye, Ronald. He turned off his camera.
I'll be right back.
All right, Ron.
I like Maxey too, but no.
Nah, I think Maxey's a good 4 on a championship team.
Yeah,
like the same with Jordan Poole. He can't be your top 3.
Maxey would be a great Wiggins.
Yeah, like that's exactly what it should be, and that should be his role. I feel like, and Pride, you and I do it too, like with guys on Boston or guys on the Bulls. Like it happens. You get really excited about a player because you watch him every single day, and you're like, dude, this is gonna be the guy. And then you watch it on a different team, like Pride, the way he looks at Alex Caruso for me, or the way I look at Derek White. It's like on a championship team, if he's your number 3 option, that's a problem. That's a big problem, and that's not going to be a good look. And that's what it is. Or thinking DeMar DeRozan was going to be anything other than what he was. Yeah, well, he chose to leave in the first round, so I'm still hurt about it. But Some
I
guys
knew it was over when I saw the first play of that game was Giannis getting the dunk.
Yes, sir.
I said, "Oh Lord Jesus, they finna kill the Bulls."
Pride, how many guys we got left on here before you head out of here?
I was gonna do one more, and then I just sent you the last 2 topics. So
for sure.
And
You said we're ditching the last 2 topics.
No. Though if y'all want to do those last 2, I put them in the
less.
private chat. So if you want to
less,
Pride, you can't go nowhere, bro.
But the last one that I want to bring up,
right,
Jordan Poole.
Bring it up.
Jordan Poole.
He's the last one. Then after that, we're done with this one. Jordan Poole.
Yes.
I'm gonna go first because I gotta go because I'm gonna get yelled at in a few. If I got time when I come back, I'll hop back on. But
for sure,
Jordan Poole, I'm not giving him the max. Only because I don't think he's ready yet. I would give him a 2-year deal with a player option, so that way, by the time he's ready, that's kind of when you got Steph and Clay starting to kind of take their back seat and ready to kind of hand the keys to the kingdom off to the next
2 year
generation.
what though? Like 2 year 50 mil, 2 year 45.
I would do 2 years, 20 mil each, and I would give him incentives. So to get him to get
finals again.
So finals, playoffs, like every playoffs, like what they did with what the C's did for Al Horford. For every playoff series win, you get a bonus. You make the finals, you get a bonus. I would do that. If you make any All-NBA teams, All-NBA defense, anything you make, even though he's not going to make any All-Team defense, I would still throw it in there. I would do everything I can to try to get him more money. So that way, when it's done, now you could be like, you got 2 ways of saying, look, you're still going to get your money. That's 1. And then 2, then by the time a couple years rolls around, you got a little more confidence in him. Now you're able to forget the max rookie extension. You can now just throw a super max at the kid. You can throw a max. You can now throw as much as you want at the kid and be all right. So
100%.
That's
all right. Pride.
I'm gonna hop on.
Peace, big dog. But Jonathan, for you, Jordan Poole, very inconsistent throughout the year. But a lot of great flashes for someone who's so young. Doesn't really need to be super consistent. Do you give him a max?
Not yet, but I'll give him a nice penny. I think he's deserving. I think he was a huge part of their championship success. He had a great playoff run. We saw him kind of fall off after that Nuggets series. But, he was still scoring some points. He was still, contributing. I like him on a 2-year deal. I kind of agree with what Pride said. And you throw some incentives in there. And you go from there because you got to start looking at the future now, I'm not saying you necessarily want to build around him, but he can be a part of that next chapter moving forward. So, yeah, I'll give him around a 2-year deal.
Mr. Curry.
200 million range, somewhere around there.
I would think so.
I just want to say this. If Steph Curry played for the Bulls, oh, my God. That'd be a double win.
How did this happen? Pride's been gone for 2 seconds. Don't do this, Rob. Don't get me fired. But what do you think? Jordan Poole getting that max deal, is it too early or is it more like for me personally, just before you go, I'm more of what Pride and I said. I'll do 50 mil for 2 years. Yeah. And then when Curry retires, I don't think he's going to retire in 2 years, but when Clay eventually leaves, I would assume Clay's probably in a few years is done. But then I would make that move. But right now, financially, I couldn't give him those super max because then you'll have 5 guys on max deals: Wiggins, Clay, Draymond, Curry, and then you got Poole. That's too much for me. So I feel like right now, 2 years, 50 mil. That's my ballpark. I feel like that's fair. You get incentives as well. Maybe get around to 65. For you, Rob, what's the word with Jordan Poole? JP.
Well, there's a couple things, right? So first, let's say the Warriors don't give him the Supermax. Now, me personally, I wouldn't give him a Supermax. I'm along the lines of what you guys said. Maybe 2 year, 45, 50 mil, some incentives added in where he can still make his money, which he would because ultimately Steve Kerr trusts him enough where he kind of has a green light similar to Steph Curry. Now, let's say they don't give him the max and another team looks, because now if there are eyes on Jordan Poole, like it or not, there are teams that can use a point guard, i.e. Boston, maybe Boston looking at a Jordan Poole to bring some more offensive firepower to that squad. But let's say Jordan Poole goes with another team and gets exposed. because, like Jonathan said, yeah, after that Denver game, he kind of fell off the map after that Denver series. Now, he did pick it back up at the right time when it counted, but think about this. Steph Curry allows these players to be who they are because of the attention that they give him. So it's easy for Jordan Poole to be open or to come get a half-court shot because it's two people already watching Steph. Now, he goes somewhere else and he's not the same Jordan Poole. Do you regret that as a team?
100%.
That we picked this guy up and thought that we were going to base our future off him. So if I'm Jordan Poole, as long as I can get compensated, maybe not the way I want to get compensated, but you guys believe in me enough to pay me more than what I'm making, I might not be so quick to lead the Warriors because I need to gauge my game to know if I'm really worth being a Supermax player. So it's a lot of things in that situation because I've seen that happen to players where they think that they start smelling themselves and then they think they're better than what they are and they go to another team and you like, wait, what happened to this? Not who we paid for.
D'Angelo Russell. D'Angelo Russell.
You know what I mean?
Guy. D'Angelo Russell goes to Minnesota and it's like, yo, like what's going on? But for me, you know, and this is, I can't believe my guy Pride, one of the best hosts to ever do it. But he left my boy out, Rob. He left my boy out. And, you know, you transitioned it. I feel like a big one for me, Jordan Poole to Memphis would be huge. I feel like him and John Morant would be solid, but I don't know how. We've talked about Tyler Hero, Jordan Poole, and all these other cats. John Morant hasn't gotten extended yet. And that's
he's going to get that, though, without a shadow of a doubt.
100%. But, Rob, here's where I'm going to twist it a little bit. And Jonathan, this is for you, too, because I know you've watched our boys' game for quite some time. I look at Derrick Rose and the way Derrick Rose got extended. And then John Morant's already kind of gone through some kind of injuries, lower injuries, not as serious. For you, Rob, I'm going to start with you.
Yeah.
Would you be afraid to give John Morant that kind of deal, looking at what's happened to Russ, looking at what's happened to John Wall, looking at what's happened to Derrick Rose? Are you still willing to do it?
You know what? I'm glad you brought that up because I've actually talked about this on my podcast. Derrick Rose and John Morant reminds you so much of each other.
Oh, they're the same dude.
The athleticism, the way they can finish at the rim is the way they shoot the floater.
Josh just a Derrick with a three, a young Derrick.
I think he's a better shooter at Derrick at that stage in his career.
Right.
But they're completely the same player.
Yeah.
And what scares me is that Ja has had injuries to his lower extremities, as you mentioned. Hell, it only took a swipe from Jordan Poole to make him miss the playoffs. One swipe at the knee, and he was gone. So I get that nervousness, Mike. I really do. But Ja has proved enough that I'm going to pay that man.
Right. But would you also say Derrick proved enough? Because Derrick he's the youngest MVP.
Money. And Derrick got Supermax money.
Right. And then immediately after.
I get that. But sometimes, you know, it's risk versus reward.
Right.
That's a risk I'm willing to take.
100%.
Because Ja Morant is that dude.
Right. The problem for me is if that is to happen in Memphis, oh, man.
It's going to set them back.
It's going to set them back longer than it set back Chicago. Because think about it. Cats want to come to Chicago.
Yeah.
At least they did. Now the GarPax is gone. Now everybody wants to come. But before there wasn't. Going to Memphis, if Ja's banged up and they don't have a lot of money to offer, I mean, that you're going to be constricted for a long time. But like you said, Rob, you know, that's my dog. That's my baby Derrick over there. So I'm definitely giving Ja that money. Jonathan, how do you feel about it?
I mean, Ja, like, you can just tell the impact. We're not even talking about just play. The impact that he's had not only on that team, but that community.
For sure.
That community has surrounded Ja. They believe in Ja. He's bringing the big time rappers out. You got the Moneybagg Yo's and all the Memphis, all the Yo Gottis. You got these guys showing up to these games now where they like, okay, the Grindhouse is back in Memphis. And not to mention, the general manager has done a great job of putting some young talent around this star. You look at Jeffrey, you look at the Tyus Jones, the Desmond Baines, the Dylan Brooks. I mean, they got a squad over there in Memphis. I'm telling you right now, even with the big Aussie, my boy Steven Adams, who I just love. Aquaman is my guy. You know, so I'm just telling you right now, with that Memphis squad, I am going to put money in Ja Morant's pockets because we don't get here without Ja.
No, not at all. Jonathan, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, the Memphis Grizzlies would be insane not to pay him.
Yeah.
The max contract. Look, this guy is everything for Memphis, right? He's a ticket seller. He sells out tickets. You know, people want to come and watch. He's absolutely blockbuster. He's box office. You got to pay this man. I mean, I understand. You take a risk paying any player, not even a player that even I should say even a player that's not dealing with health problems.
Mm-hmm.
You still taking a risk because an injury can occur to a player at any given time. Anytime. All it takes is one time. So, I mean, I know we're looking at his medical report. We're looking at his condition and his body and everything. But you pay the man. You know,
box office.
He's box office, and you know, Memphis is not far from being a Western Conference contender. They're not far away at all. So you pay him. You continue to build around him. And you hope for great things to come in the near future.
100%. Now, Rob.
Yes, sir.
This is a conversation I've been wanting to have for a long time. Jonathan, I'm sure as a Lakers fan, you're in the business for this as well. You know, the Phoenix Suns, they come out, they kind of say they're shopping DeAndre Ayton right now. They don't know if they want to give him that 5th year. They don't know if they want to even give him a 4th year. They don't know how they feel about him. There's a sign and trade possibility. Right now, I want both of you guys to give your top 3s, if you could, of destinations to where you could see DeAndre Ayton going. And if this is even a good idea for me, I'll go 3, 2, 1, you know, because I don't want to be too biased right off the bat. I think 3, I think the Dallas Mavericks. I think that would be interesting with Luka, Christian Wood, Jalen Brunson. I think it would be a nice little sweeten the deal kind of pot. I also think you look at Christian Wood. I didn't see that as he's the answer. I see that as you're going to trade Christian Wood. You're going to flip him and picks for DeAndre Ayton. Then you're going to have Jalen Brunson, Ayton, and Luka. I don't really see Christian Wood being a part of that. If he is, all power to him. But I felt like that was more of a flip kind of thing just to get a couple assets. 2, Jonathan, I'm going to show you some love. I think the Los Angeles Lakers should definitely be in on DeAndre Ayton. He's 23. He's a stud. He does his job. I feel like you put AD and DeAndre Ayton in the same ballpark. Oh, you're having a conversation. That those boys are big. And I feel like that means AD doesn't have to play as big. So I think that's a pretty solid move. But number 1, Jonathan, the Chicago Bulls.
I knew where you was going with that.
Chicago Bulls. I said it on the mic, and I'll say it again. I'll give you Vooch, the 18th pick tonight, and I'll give you Kobe White. Shit, I'll give you a 2025 first. I don't care because we win the chip. We win the chip in 23, 24, and 25. And that's how I feel about it. DeAndre Ayton with Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Lonzo Ball, Patrick Williams.
Yeah, because LaVine's going to stay.
Oh, LaVine's here. I think
he's
that's
going to stay.
And I've never been more confident in saying that than I have in the last few days. But I feel like it's been an understanding that Zach's going to stay.
I think Zach and Debo needs to just have a sit down with each other.
With DeAndre Ayton, 100%.
Yeah.
I think it'd be solid. But, Jonathan, before we get to the 2 biased Bulls fans, where do you think DeAndre Ayton should land if he is moved?
Oh man, there's a lot of places that can use a big man. You mentioned it. The Lakers is one place he can go, and the Lakers, you always got to put them in the running, right? You always got to enter them into the sweepstakes, right?
Because, especially when they got GM Bron.
Yeah. But we all know that the Lakers have had a rich history with centers.
Yeah.
You know, and they have had the most success with big men in the past. So I would have the Lakers at number 2. I would have the Portland Trailblazers at number 1. Here's why. They need to get big. That's been a big problem of theirs, right? Their interior defense, and they don't have enough size. You know, that's been the knock against them. And if you want to keep Damian Lillard happy, which I think he's not going to stay, but if you want to try to keep your franchise player happy, you got to make that move. You got to get bigger. You got to get some size in there. So I got Portland at 1. And
I like that a lot, actually.
Yeah. And at 3, the San Antonio Spurs. No one's mentioning them. You got to have a sleeper in there. So I like the Spurs. And you know, they could use some size too. You know, they had success with Tim Duncan and David Robinson. So I would like to see them get some size there as well.
Ooh, I'm gonna blow y'all mind with this one. I'm gonna blow your mind,
Rob. Let me hear, Rob.
With number 3, I'm gonna go with the obvious Chicago Bulls. I've thought about that as well, especially with Vucevic being such a problem defensively. Not saying that DeAndre Ayton is gonna come solve that problem, but he can do more defensively on the court than Vucevic can. And honestly, you can get rid of him and Kobe White, and if you're getting the DeAndre Ayton in place of that, you haven't really lost anything.
Right.
Number 2, I'm gonna go with the Charlotte Hornets, because Charlotte right now, they're in a debacle on whether or not Miles Bridges is a max deal player. I don't think they're gonna give him max money, and I think bringing in a DeAndre Ayton with a LaMelo Ball would definitely be box office. I think DeAndre will be able to eat more, because LaMelo is going to want to give him the ball. And then he will come on the Charlotte Hornets and become a centerpiece for that offense. And with my number 1, I'm going to say the Atlanta Hawks. I'm saying him and Trae Young playing together will be box office. You know, John Collins has been dealing with some injury problems. Capella has been dealing with some injury problems. If you can get rid of Capella and a couple of those players, like maybe a Bogdanovich or maybe a Gallinari, and bring in a DeAndre Ayton, I think right now Atlanta goes back up to that upper echelon in the Eastern Conference.
100%. Now we got about 9-8 minutes left of the show. We got one last question. It's draft night, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna be having an amazing night no matter what. Yes. I haven't really cared about the draft since that 2019 draft. To be honest, keeping it a buck. Jonathan, I know you're a draft guy. I love it. I love the moment. I love everything about it. But ever since that 2019 draft with Zion, Ja, and RJ and them, it just it plateaued for me. That's as high as I feel like it's ever gonna go until, you know, my mind has changed. But, you know, Portland made some news yesterday. You know, they trade Jeremy Grant. They trade for Jeremy Grant. They trade one of their picks. Don't even matter. It was a steal. It was a 2025 pick, if I'm not mistaken. It was a great move. Now Dame has Jeremy Grant. They got the number 7 pick tonight. For anybody who's following it at all, what do you think Portland's going to do with that number 7 pick? Are they going to draft anyone in particular, or are they going to try to trade up?
I'm going to try to trade up.
100%.
Yeah, I'm going to trade up.
I don't think there's nobody in this draft that's going to change your life.
Right.
Nobody in this draft, especially if you're Portland right now. You got something. Especially if you got a younger team that has a decent player on the cusp. You got a bargaining chip.
Right.
So if I'm Portland, I'm out there looking at the landscape of the NBA, because right now, if I'm Portland, my only job is to make Damian happy.
Right.
Make Damian happy.
My thing is you might have to trade Damian. I think tonight.
And if you do that, that might make Damian happy.
Yeah, it might. Well, it definitely ain't gonna make him upset. But I think, you know, if he is to get moved and they are to trade up, I think tonight's the night for Damian Lillard. I don't think tonight's that night. I feel like I've been looking at the mock drafts. Dyson Daniels to the Portland Trailblazers seems to be the move that's most likely going to happen if no one else takes him. He's a great shooting guard. He's a great guard in this league. The kid's 6'8", 195. He's averaging 23, 8, and 1. I mean, the kid 23, 1, and 8. Pardon me. He's big rebound kid, does not pass the ball, averages 1 rebound a game. But, I mean, he doesn't need to. He's a scorer. He's a playmaker. And I feel like that's exactly what they need right now. They don't need another Simmons who's going to try to handle the ball at the same time Dame is. I feel like I've watched this kid play for a little bit. You know, he does some moves. He's a flashy kid. So I'm excited about that. But I think there's a lot of ways tonight could go. One, I don't know if Paolo is going to be drafted first. I don't know if Chet's going to be drafted, or Jabari. I feel like Jabari is a more of
a lot of people are kind of making me mad. I don't want to doubt the kid.
He's more of a skilled player. He's more of a solid shooter. But you look at Chet Holmgren's game, he's all around too.
Yeah.
But Chet my thing with Chet is let him be great. But trying to compare him to what Giannis was when he first got in the league, what KD was when he first got in the league. KD wasn't even who KD was when he first got in the league. Like
that skinny dude, man.
Like just because he got the body build, don't start comparing this man to these dudes. And I think sometimes the media looks for just a story, but it's like, dude, like you already putting a target on Chet's back, and he ain't played in the NBA yet.
100%. But before we get out of here, it's draft night. I just want everybody to say, Jonathan, number one, I'm sorry. You're a lottery team that doesn't have a lottery pick. It is a shame, but you got a championship in 2020, and that's all that matters. But, Jonathan, you got anything left for the people before we get out of here?
Man, I just want to say to everyone, thanks for watching, and have a wonderful day. Enjoy the draft tonight. I know the Dodgers, they got a game at breakfast time this morning, 9:30. They're in Cincinnati. So I'll be tuned into that. But everyone have a wonderful day. Enjoy these games. If you're a baseball fan, enjoy the baseball games, the College World Series.
Rob Scott, how about you?
All right, man. You know me, man. I'm here waiting on football time now. So I'm watching these moves that's being made, listening to NFL Today, listening to the NFL on ESPN. Man, I'm excited. I can't wait to see this upcoming NFL season, and I know I got a spot on Mike and the Mic when we get to talking about football, baby.
You already know Jonathan's always welcome as well. Love my LA guys. You guys are always welcome on Mike on the Mic. But with that being said, we're getting the hell out of here. It has been an amazing morning with my brothers once again at the All Sports All Plays Network. We out.
We go.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making the plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.